I'm not the smartest. I'm not the brightest. I may not have all the best information, but I'm going to outwork you, and you would have to kill me to get me to stop chasing my dream. Have you made that decision? You don't need to know a little more. You need to execute a little more. You need to get after it. You need to make some mistakes. Perfection is the lowest possible standard. Quit trying to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. The best people I know in business, they take action when they don't know everything. They learn what they can and they go execute. They make a mess. You need to embrace the mess. Embrace the chaos. You're never going to know everything you think you need to know. That's why my low IQ, and I'm not kidding when I say that, is to some extent an advantage. I don't think about all the stuff I don't need to know. You take action. The Lord has a way when you step into a new space of revealing to you the people, places, resources, and things you need in that space, and you go from there and you go to the next one.
Here's the time to act. When the idea is hot and the emotion is strong. That's the time to act. Action pronto. Action immediate. Action as soon as possible. Because if you don't, here's what happens. We call it the law of diminishing intent. We intend to when the idea strikes us. We intend to when the emotion is high. But now if you don't translate that into action fairly soon, now the intent starts to diminish. And a month from now it's cold. A year from now, it can't be found. So act. Set up a discipline when the emotions are high and the idea is strong and clear and powerful. That's the time to set up the discipline.
I have a great friend of mine named Carl Edwards, who was a NASCAR driver. I sponsored his car for a number of years. And he said the scariest thing in NASCAR is when there's a crash in front of you, we are trained to drive right into the smoke. If you look at the wall, you run into it. You cannot even look at the wall, you pull the steering wheel into the wall. So when there's a crash at 215 miles an hour and there's smoke everywhere, we are trained to drive right into the smoke. Can you imagine that? Imagine the fear level of driving into the smoke at 200 miles an hour when you know there are crashed cars in front of you. That's what you do as a driver to win. That's what you do as an entrepreneur to win. That's the difference. Knowledge equals execution and speed. Next thing you need to do, you need to stop negotiating the price tags in your life. The fact of the matter is that when I was struggling, I was constantly negotiating whether it was worth it. Is it worth it? I'm away from my family. It's costing me money. I had to come to this seminar. Is it when you're negotiating the price you're paying all the time? Does that sound familiar to you? Yes or no? Or the people around you are negotiating the price you're paying all the time. When I was poor and broke, when I would walk into a store, we all relate to this, I didn't look at what I wanted. I looked at price tags and I flipped them over. What's it cost? What's it cost? What's it cost? What's it cost? I can get that one. When I looked at a menu, what's it cost? What's it cost? I'll get that. People who come from scarcity and are poor thinkers are constantly negotiating price. Wealthy people, there's a thin veil. They negotiate worth. There's a difference between cost and worth. Is what I'm doing worth it? Is what I'm doing worth it? Not what's it costing me. In fact, the price you will pay for not winning is infinitely greater the rest of your life than the price you will ever pay to win. But you're negotiating it too often. You're vacillating. It takes your energy. It strips your focus. For most people, their will to win is for sale. For most people, with enough failure, enough setbacks, enough adversity, you can buy them. They will relent. They will sell their dream. They'll sell their kids. They'll sell their future. This is the truth. You remember I said this to you because you're going to face this moment. There's going to be a point in time in your life where what you know is not enough. And if you're me, when I arrive at those points, I got to find something higher than me to pull me through. And you're going to have to rely on your faith and the decision you've made where you've negotiated the price in advance before it hits. Because for most people, enough of that, they'll relent. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. You know, I learned all this stuff, just the timing was right. Or, you know, you don't know about where I live. Where we live, this stuff doesn't work. And you sell your dream. And what you do when you do that is you sold your children's future. You've sold your own future. You've relented and you've given in. I want you to think about that. Because when you go, nah, it wasn't for me. No. That's the easy way out. Nah, I decided I'm not going to pay that big a price for my grandkids' future. I've decided I don't want to really retire my parents. I've decided I don't really want to be somebody. I've decided all this stuff I say about who I want to be and what I want and all that other stuff, I kind of want it, contingent on it's not too hard. And that's what most entrepreneurs do. In fact, in a year, of the 500 people here, there will be several hundred of you who have already sold your family down the river. And I say that to you so that you can begin to negotiate the price in advance. I love you. I want you to win. I want to see you prosper. I want to see magic happen for you. And if you don't, while you're at this meeting, all the notes, all the logistics, make a decision that no matter how big the price gets, as long as it's legal, ethical, and moral, I'm going to pay it. I've negotiated in advance. My will to win, my family's dreams, my future is not for sale.
It hadn't happened yet, but I'm dressed for it. I'm ready for it. I'm learning about it. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to walk into it. I'm ready to receive it. I'm getting ready for it right now. When it does happen, I'll already have my stuff. When it does happen, I'll already be in place. In other words, move into the place where the blessing is going to come. Have you ever noticed that whenever depression comes, one of the first things it tries to do is get you to stay in the house? Because the devil knows that in order to get a certain level of blessings, you have to be in a certain place. And he'll do anything he can to get you to be all dressed up, but in the wrong place. It's a dangerous thing to stay too long in a place that you're overdressed. It's all right to be in the lobby as long as you leave. But if you're going to stay in the lobby too long, it will mess things up, because you got to move into the place that you are preparing for. That's why no matter how much I love people, I can't stay in no place that I'm not trying to be. If I'm trying to go to the next level, it doesn't matter where I start. It matters where I finish. And I don't mind you seeing me dressed differently from you as long as you understand I'm on my way. You know, how y'all on the way to the beach, oh, have fun. You going to the pool, have a good time. Yeah, I'm going on over here. Why am I going in this direction? Because he's calling me. He's calling me. You go on wherever you want to go. Do what you want to do. But he's calling me. And when you start getting in the place, you don't fit. You don't fit, but you're there. See, successful is lonely because you didn't fit where you came from, because you was dressed for where you're going. And you don't fit where you're going because you just left where you came from. And so you got to be prepared to be a misfit if God's going to give you this blessing. If you got to have a strong support system, you can't get this level of blessing because you're too in to be out, but you're too out to be in. You're too close to your destiny to let your history hinder you from getting to your destiny. And so when you start moving into your destiny, you're in the position, but you don't feel comfortable. Is there anybody in here who knows what it's like to be in a position that God gave you and you don't feel comfortable in it? You're in it, but you don't feel worthy of it. You don't feel right to be in it. You feel out of place in it, but God gave it to you. Well, get in the place and stay there. God knew who you were when he put you in the position. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and stop feeling unworthy and get yourself ready for what God, didn't he tell you he would do a new thing in you? Didn't he tell you he would make you the head and not the tail? Don't blow this miracle. This miracle, who am I preaching to? This miracle is for you. All God wants you to do is get in the place and wait. Isn't it strange to be excited about something nobody's excited but you? And your first tendency is try to make them be excited about something they're not excited about. But God says, just wait. Don't try to make it happen. Don't try to force it to happen. Don't try to throw out your business card. Don't try to get no reputation for yourself. Just be prepared and just wait. You're not going to have to open this door. God is going to open this door for you. When God opens a door, when God opens a door, it's mind-boggling. It seems like it comes out of nowhere. It just happens just when the said you wasn't going to get up, just when your flesh said you're too stupid and you'll never be anything, God just opens up a door. He said, I set before you an open door. Let me tell you what's good about God opening the door. If you open the door, you have to keep it open. But when God opens a door, he said, doors I open, no man can shut them. Whoever I'm preaching to today, God is getting ready to open up a door for you that is utterly mind-boggling. You won't have to defend it. You won't have to fight for it. All you got to do is stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. God is going to open the door. If you just wait, this time you're going to walk through the door into your destiny. This time you're going to get your breakthrough, and all you got to do is wait